It's Fans Corner. Welcome to it, and thank you once again for making time for us. We are back in the Betway Premiership, another midweek game, this time around out in Polokwane, a game between Kaizer Chiefs and Magesi FC, or actually Magesi FC against Kaizer Chiefs, as Magesi were the hosts. A decent crowd again out in Polokwane, especially after so many games have been played over the past couple of weeks in that area. I think the crowd did pretty well. The people around Polokwane did pretty well for themselves. I think I'll accept it's an acceptable amount of crowd for an evening game in the midweek, a midweek evening game. I think I'll accept that amount of crowd. The game itself, getting into the game itself, the way Chiefs started the game, Chiefs, they've solved one of the problems that I think I've mentioned this. Maybe I'll sound like a broken record now. I've said this, I think, maybe in game number 2, game number 3, if I'm not mistaken. I said they seem to have solved the problem of this Route 1 football. Now they're playing, the Chiefs are a ball-playing team, which I like a lot. But sometimes, to a certain extent, they overdo it. Sometimes they pass where it's unnecessary to pass. There's an English saying that says, simplicity is the ultimate sophistication. Sometimes you just have to keep it simple. Do it as simple as you can, and you'll see the result. I think with Kaizer Chiefs, the first 5 minutes, it was too complex in terms of the manner in which they were passing, the connection between the passes. It was a network of passes. Beautiful to watch, actually, but when you are trying to find a goal, sometimes it can get frustrating, okay? And especially if a team that you're playing against, sometimes you get so used to having the ball with you that you forget to defend. And that's what happened in the 6th minute. Because Kaizer Chiefs didn't think that Magesi would come for them, and they came for them because the first 5 minutes Chiefs were just on the Magesi half, and as soon as Magesi crossed the center line for the first time and went to the Chiefs side, it was a goal. And that's how the game changed, because now Chiefs cannot be playing the same game. Now they're chasing the game. It's a different kind of a game. It's also a frustrating kind of a game. And I have to say that I think Coach Clinton Larsen, I spoke about Coach Clinton Larsen when they played against Orlando Pirates. I think he's a seasoned coach. You don't take him lightly. He reads the game. He plans, I think, pretty well. I think he took a note from the game against Super Sports United. He took notes from Kevin Hunt on how to deal with Chiefs, because we know the game will start with Chiefs attacking in the very first few minutes of the game. That's how it's going to happen. I think that's how Nabi is going to start the game from now on, since the beginning of the season. That's what he's going to do, especially with the kind of energy that he has. He has some serious energy in those young legs of most of the Chiefs players are young. So now what we saw Kevin Hunt doing was to absorb the pressure, get a chance, score, shut the back door. Clinton Larsen modified it slightly. Absorb the pressure first 5 minutes. As soon as you get a chance, go and score, but do not defend. They didn't really defend. If you look at them, they were going pound for pound against Kaizer Chiefs. The first half, they managed the game. I have to say, Magesi managed the game in the first half and making sure that Kaizer Chiefs get frustrated. In the second half, they came out and we thought they were going to defend and try to frustrate Kaizer Chiefs even more. No, that's not what they did. They actually went and tried to look for a second goal, which they actually eventually got later on. And I have to say, I spoke about our goalkeeper, Kaizer Chiefs goalkeeper, in the game against Amazulu, if I'm not mistaken. And I said, I'm worried. He looks shaky. And some of the comments that I got from social media was that it was raining. So we gave him credit because it was raining. But this time around, I think he is. I'm not judging him too early, but I don't think he is the kind of goalkeeper to win you titles. You will win games, but I don't think you can win titles with a goal. I'm not confident on him. He's still yet to prove me wrong, and I hope he does over the long period of the league and also other competitions. Because I'm of the view that if you take Chipezeze and put him in the goals for Kaizer Chiefs for the first goal, he saves that one. I think he would have saved that goal, the first goal. You take Chipezeze again on that free kick, you put him in the Kaizer Chiefs. I think he would have saved that one as well. I just don't. I'm not sure whether we have improved on our goalkeeping department. So I think we're still a bit shaky. Another position where I think we're still a bit shaky our striking department. I complained about Ranga Chivaviro in the previous game. I'm still not happy with what he actually, with his output. There are goals that he should score and he's not scoring. His first touch really puts us under unnecessary pressure. So I'm still thinking those two departments, the goalkeeping department and also the striking department, we need to intensify a little bit. In the middle of the park, I'm seeing Nabi giving everyone a chance until, which I think we should give him time to do so. He's still trying to get his right combination there. But honestly speaking, I don't think Yusuf Mart is the right man for the job. I know he's our captain, but let's be honest, it's not working. It hasn't been working for some time, not just this season. Even in the past season, it hasn't been working. I don't think Yusuf Mart should be in that Kaizer Chiefs lineup. Give the young ones, the Samgelo Zwanes, Castillo and his feet, give them a chance. Nkosing Ngobo has come back as well. He didn't have the kind of game that we know him to have when he's at his best, But we understand. We haven't seen him in a long time, Nkosing Ngobo. So those are the guys I think you should give a chance. But Yusuf Mart, bench him as much as you can until you really need him because you've run out of depth. That's what I think at the center of the park there, because I think he's not giving us anything, Yusuf Mart. He's not adding any value. I'm not a big fan of criticizing players, but let's be honest. When if the man is not the man for the job, the man is just not the man for the job. Yeah, Ranga Chivaviro is one of them. Our goalkeeper, I know it's still too early, but I'm not sure. Let me just say I'm not sure about our goalkeeper there. When the way we played in the first half, we could have scored in the first 5 minutes if we kept it simple. And also our decision making has been poor in the final third. When we get closer to the 18th, we somehow, there are terrible mistakes. Sometimes we pass when we're supposed to shoot. Sometimes we shoot when we're supposed to pass. That's how Kaizer Chiefs were playing in that first half. And I thought we just created unnecessary pressure. The team that did more damage to Kaizer Chiefs on this game is Kaizer Chiefs themselves. Not to disrespect Magesi, but they did their homework. Of course, we saw what they did, but Kaizer Chiefs did more damage to themselves than Magesi did damage. They were solid. They were rock solid at the back. They came to play Magesi, and credit to them. But also Kaizer Chiefs. There were some unnecessary touches. There was some passes that should have not been made, and they were made. There were some passes that should have been made, and they were not made. So it wasn't a good game for Kaizer Chiefs, honestly speaking. In terms of the shooting, you know what? If you are going to have people who are going to attempt to shoot, to strike for goal, I think it's something they should be practicing as well. They should be doing this more at training. I think you can tell when a player does this at practice. I don't think we saw Zwane coming in. I don't think Zwane does this shooting thing in practice. He doesn't have a good shot. It's not accurate. We've seen it even in the previous game. Mfundo Vilakazi, on the other hand, has a very accurate foot. Even when he comes off target, he's so close. And I think is one of the guys that should be given a chance to take those shots. We saw him even scoring against the Marumo Gallants out in Mangaung a couple of weeks ago, beginning of the season. So I think he has a good shot. He has an educated foot here. His foot is quite accurate. The other players, I think they still need to practice the shooting thing, because there were so many shots that just went wide or over the post unnecessarily so. And the way Chiefs are playing, they should be scoring more goals compared to the kind of goals that they're scoring now. So I honestly think that we need to work on the decision making on the final third. If we are going to shoot, let it be a person who really knows how to hit the ball. I'm okay with Mfundo Vilakazi taking a shot. I'm not okay with some of the players taking shots. We played in the hands of Magesi for a long time. It wasn't working. We couldn't crack the defense, and we kept on hanging the ball in the air. I mean, we are facing Chipezeze. We saw Chipezeze. We know Chipezeze. I mean, he's an experienced goalkeeper. We've seen Chipezeze for a number of times. We know what he's going to do. There's always going to be one result. If you're going to hang the ball in the air, he's swallowing it. That's Chipezeze. That's what he's doing. And if they are leading, that's Chipezeze. That saying. They say that's Chipezeze, just wasting time unnecessarily there. I'm glad, I'm happy for Mtu Tshabalal. He's a hard worker, man. He puts in a serious shift for that Kaizer Chiefs. He puts on that jersey and goes that way. I'm going to war. I'm going to fight for this team, and he does exactly that. And I'm glad to see him scoring a brace and winning man of the match. I'm not so sure whether I guess he kind of deserves winning man of the match, especially rescuing a team from a loss and getting a point, and also the kind of work rate that he put in. I'm so sad to see Vilakazi leaving the way he left, because he looks injured. We are looking. I'm expecting a lot from that young boy, man. He's a complete product. That final touch that he needs to adjust his foot, and then he'll be banging in some serious goals. The cross that he put in for Chivaviro just made me angry even more. About Chivaviro, because I think he could have done better. That header that he took there was directed to Chipezeze, and there's always going to be just one result if you're going to be doing that. Other than that, the officiating, the other thing that I picked up too in this game, the officiating wasn't good. I don't want to say it was terrible, but it wasn't good. There were so many calls that the referees got wrong on this particular game. But it's our daily talk. This one, we talk about the referees more than we talk about the game these days. Other than that, I think not all is lost for Kaizer Chiefs. I'm speaking as a Kaizer Chiefs fan on this particular one, but I think if we are going to see a competitive Kaizer Chiefs, we really need to look at that goalkeeping department, and we also need to look at that striking force. That's where I feel that we are still a little bit shaky. I'm good with our flanks. I'm good with our full backs as well. I'm good at the center. We just need to find the right combination that's working. As long as there's no Yusuf Mart in that at that center, I don't think Yusuf Mart is the solution to this team right now. Other than that, it was a decent game. It was worth watching. Let's give Nabi some time to cook. Thank you so much for making time. This has been Fans Corner. We meet again in the next one.